Hey, it's Luke from LTGaming, and today we're watching C-Beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. Oh, hang on, actually, that's a Blade Runner quote, but with this game it kinda fits. Because today we're looking at C-Beams, a top-down space action RPG that has suddenly gone from interesting indie space game to hang on, this might be one of the most exciting sci-fi games on the horizon. It has hard sci-fi energy, gorgeous ships, dangerous anomalies, physics-based flying, and all that other fun stuff like mining, hauling, trading, and combat. It seems to really have that irresistible tiny ship in a massive hostile universe feeling. And before we jump into that abyss, fire a little C-beam at the like button, because it helps the channel massively, costs fewer credits from repairing your engines after a bad docking attempt, and lets me keep covering weird ambitious space games like this. So what actually is C-Beams? Well, at its core it's a top-down space action RPG where you pilot your ship through a dangerous black hole system, taking on contracts, upgrading your vessel, fighting hostile competitors, and exploring a vast universe of jump points. And on top of that, you're trying not to get torn apart by the kind of space-time anomalies that usually make insurance companies quietly leave the room. The setup is classic sci-fi stuff really. Humanity discovers a strange new system, corporations and daring pilots flood in, and you arrive as a new pilot with nothing to lose, trying to carve out a name for yourself on a very unforgiving frontier. What makes C-Beams a little bit different is the interesting team behind it. The game's being developed by Distant Light Games, and one of the creators is Charlie Goldberg, better known as LevelCapGaming on YouTube. I think that's pretty cool because it's not just some random project that appeared out of nowhere with a flashy trailer and a dream. It's clearly being built by people and a YouTuber who has a passion for this subject matter. I mean, I think if me and Tom get to 250,000 subscribers, we should also make a game, and I really want to know in the comments what game you think we should make. I'm sort of joking and sort of not. I've always thought we could make a really simple but effective space war game. But yeah, you can put some random jokey ones in the comments as well. The next big development we have to talk about is that C-Beams has been picked up by Hooded Horse. I think that's a really promising sign given the run that they are on. Hooded Horse has become one of those publishers where even if every game is not automatically perfect, you usually do pay attention when their name appears. They tend to go after games with depth, interesting systems, and a strong confidence behind them. And space games like this are exactly what we need. For something like C-Beams, I think the link up feels important because it gives the project more stability. We all know how us YouTubers can be, and I think a strong publisher will help drive this. It's going to allow them to expand the team, bring in more talent, improve the overall quality level, and spread some of the workload of the business and marketing side. Hooded Horse is also definitely on the list of people that we really enjoy working with. There's some really nice people there. Tom's met some of them as well, so yeah, a really good publisher to get involved with. So the first thing that jumps out with C-Beams is clearly the visual style. There are a lot of top-down space games out there, but this one really has a striking look. The ships have that sleek, hard sci-fi silhouette where they feel practical but still dramatic. The lighting has this dark cinematic contrast with engines, weapons, stations, and anomalies all popping against the blackness of space. This stuff actually matters, to be honest, because space games live and die on atmosphere. You need to feel small, vulnerable, and slightly hypnotized by the universe around you, and C-Beam seems to understand that. Then there's a flight model, which might be the real secret sauce in this one. This is not just being presented as a simple arcade shooter where your ship just zips around like a mouse cursor with guns attached. Instead, it has realistic handling, retro burns, cutting your engines to drift silently, then extras like maneuvering thrusters, cargo weight affecting ship mass, and boost fuel becoming a genuine survival concern. That instantly makes the ship feel less like a disposable vehicle and more like a physical object you have to master to survive. And for space sim fans like myself, this is extremely appealing. We love a good ship, and we love a good ship even more when it feels immersive in the environment around us. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed. So make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. Combat also has a lot more going on than just pointing at the enemy until they explode. You've got close-range weapons like Gatling turrets and cannons, longer-range tools like missiles, railguns, and the C-beam lasers, but also subsystem targeting. That means you can disable engines, weapons, or radar, which immediately gives fights more tactical texture. You're not just kind of going, can I kill this ship? It's can I cripple it, raid it, ambush it, or avoid it entirely? Then you add in asteroids as cover, stealth upgrades, derelict ships, cargo raids, and environmental total danger, and suddenly this starts to sound like a proper little sci-fi sandbox. The environments look really fun too, moving through asteroid fields, their space stations, planets, moons, nebulas, jump points, anomalies, and hidden locations. You can also take local contracts if you want clear objectives, or wander into uncharted space for bigger risks and potentially bigger rewards. To be honest, just sounds like a really addictive loop with plenty to do, while also letting you just go one direction and explore. That's what space has to be about, right? There also seems to be some pretty cool progression systems under the hood, with C-Beams promising upgrades to firepower, cargo capacity, engines, strategic abilities, and more. You can also acquire larger ships, keep multiple vessels in a hangar, build reputation with factions, and lean into different playstyles like explorer, trader, hauler, or combat pilot. This is really a dream space game. It's not just a spaceship game where you fly one cool ship, but a game where your career slowly tells a story through the ships that you own. The enemies that you make, the factions you work with, and the terrifying number of times you almost die because you thought one more contract was a sensible idea. For me, the obvious comparison here is Starsector, because Starsector is already one of the great hidden gems of the top-down space genre. It has that brilliant blend of space combat, exploration, role-playing, trading, fleet building, and economy simulation, and for a lot of players, it's basically the gold standard for this kind of thing. I don't think C-Beams is trying to be Starsector exactly, and it seems more focused on piloting your own ship moment to moment rather than commanding a broader fleet, but the comparison is still useful. Both games understand the appeal of being a small operator in a dangerous sector, taking your jobs, building power, and slowly becoming part of the bigger sci-fi ecosystem. Of course, at LTGaming, we always cautiously approach these type of projects. The danger with games like C-Beams is that all the individual ingredients sound amazing, but the real test is whether they come together into a satisfying loop. Physics-based flight can be brilliant, but it needs to feel rewarding rather than awkward. Exploration can be atmospheric, but it needs enough meaningful discoveries to avoid feeling empty. Combat can of course have subsystem targeting and stealth and cargo raids, but the AI, mission design, and progression all need to support those systems. Basically, C-Beams has the ingredients for something special, but it also has to avoid becoming a very pretty space sandbox where the first few hours are magical and the next 20 start to feel repetitive. The good news is that C-Beams already feels like it has a bit of momentum behind it. It has a strong visual identity, a clear genre hook, a creator with an existing audience, and serious wishlist interest. And now of course the backing of Hooded Horse. And for me, yes, C-Beams is genuinely exciting. Space games are at their best when they make you feel like the universe is dangerous, beautiful, and just slightly beyond your control, and C-Beams seems to be aiming directly at that feeling. So is C-Beams the most exciting space game of the year? It might be too early to say that with full confidence, especially with no firm release date yet, but it is one of the space games I'm watching very, very closely. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. How excited are you for this title, and are there others you think are better contenders? I've been Luke from LT Gaming. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you out there amongst the stars.